existential moment for the U.S. government to really get serious about whether they want to be a major player in the cryptocurrency space or not. You know, probably the most poignant thing in this entire document is right on page 6 in section 4C, where it says no foreign regulator has determined that XRP is a security. In fact, the opposite is true. The United States would be an unfortunate outlier. You know, the U.S. likes to believe it controls the whole world and it runs every regulatory agency, but the reality is it doesn't. And that's becoming very clear as we go into the 21st century. And this is kind of a bellwether test on whether it makes sense as a cryptocurrency infrastructure company to base your infrastructure company in the United States and do business in the U.S. market, or whether that market is closed off or not. So as an industry, it's in everyone's best interest, whether they be Ethereum or Cardano or a Polkadot, for this to be won by Ripple. You know, frankly, there's no upside in giving such broad powers to a regulatory body where that regulatory body has no checks and balances or oversight and can basically arbitrarily at any point just decide, oh, well, we're going to, you know, ruin your entire ecosystem. There's 8 years of history here, for better or for worse. There's a lot of things that have happened. A lot of steps have been taken, and it's a very different ecosystem than it was in 2012. And that's true for most cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin included. At a particular period of time, all the things that were true about Ripple were also true about Bitcoin. There was only one operator and one distributor. So it would have been almost certainly a security under this draconian definition of things. And how does that benefit the industry? It really doesn't. So it doesn't help to call XRP a shitcoin, as some prominent people in the cryptocurrency space did in the response to this event. It's not a funny event. It's an existential event for the industry as a whole. The good news is I think that Ripple will prevail, and I think that XRP is going to win. And I think that it was very stupid for the regulator to approach this case as they have done, unless certain facts and circumstances materialize in the next 60 days to 90 days, then indicate that there's something more than what is publicly known. But on the surface, with what we know, what was said in the Wells submission, it just seems like a boneheaded thing, similar to the FinCEN recent decision, which was also pretty boneheaded. And print money out of thin air and these things. The U.S. government printed $6 trillion out of thin air and continues to print trillions of dollars out of thin air. So I don't for a moment want people to go and pick on a private company that creates creative ways to finance innovation. This has nothing to do with some guy just making himself $5 and walking off into the sunset. If somebody wants to go and change something that's global scale, they need capital in the hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. And if I'm being told the U.S. government can print money for a living, then why can't Ripple print money to service its goal, as Tesla has done with their season equity offerings, for example? And now they've created a battery power revolution. Okay, the world is different in the 21st century, and monetary policy is no longer the sole dominion of a single entity, and we no longer trust institutions to do these things properly. And if we're going to outsource to private industry, our healthcare, our aerospace industry, our fintech industry, then we might as well outsource to them the same fundraising capitalization tools that the government holds dominion. So say what you will about this particular entity. I do think that there's value that they provide for the ecosystem. And I think that their conduct has not crossed the threshold, at least with the facts that I have today.